Alec, can you make sure that your mic is in the sources because it's not picking up your mic currently. Sorry, small technical problem. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Something that I'm really only planning on doing once in the entire run, and that is throw a grenade to initiate combat. Reason being, I actually blew my grenades. Grenades are
Oh.
mostly useless, but not entirely.
I think it's about time we told the commander
So,
really
uh, some of
Do you have
you
Transmission from Eden
do
desktop
5.
probably know
audio
that.
You better
on?
see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Okay, can you guys hear stuff? Okay, they can hear stuff.
Yeah, we should be able.
Okay.
We should all be good.
Okay. They're saying in chat that they couldn't hear anything, but it seems like maybe
Okay.
Chaos had to sort something out. Oh, you didn't miss much.
Yeah, I've restreamed before that can happen, but yeah, I definitely need the good luck. I'm definitely wearing this shirt intentionally. If you didn't get all of that, but yeah, a basic idea is this is a very scuffed category now, and I'm probably going to have to load backup save. I have a whole slew of those ready.
Okay.
Okay, so did get most of it. That's
Do
good.
you want me to handle talking about some of the weird stuff that's been going on in this game?
Yeah, by all means, go ahead. It's a good
Alright,
time.
so when would this have started? Maybe sometime in 2020, late 2020?
Status report.
There was
no other Alliance ships in the area.
it was Lufex, who is from the KOTOR community, came in and I was doing some glitch hunting in this game, and I believe Chaos Drifter actually asked him to look into it, but basically there's this weird interaction that has been documented in YouTube videos for many years with the Mako, where you would get into the Mako sometimes and then it would just start flying all over the place, like completely, seemingly uncontrollably. And Lufex decided, well, successfully found a way to make that. Well, I wouldn't say make it consistent, but trigger it consistently.
Yeah.
And being able to kind of get the Mako to start flying into the air and going really fast lets you clip through some walls and stuff that you'll see later. That saves a lot of time, but is also very inconsistent.
Yeah, like saying you can't really control it is very accurate. You can kind of influence it in relatively minor ways, and that's about it.
Yep. And it led. So initially, when this was first found in 2020, it led to basically 2 skips being found with it. You know, they were both kind of in the same. They were basically like 5 minutes apart from each other. Now there's been, a significant more stuff found in 2021 with some more research into it, and as a result, of this becoming a more prevalent part of the any percent run, and also a very annoying part of the any percent run, we, after 15 years of this game, decided to do a category split
Yep.
for any percent. But we are running true any percent here today. That glitch is
Yeah.
loud.
I'm going to be trying to show off as much of it as possible. I have saves just for after it. We're already a little behind schedule, and these skips are unreliable enough that I kind of might need to resort to that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
almost fell.
we're seeing the first use of what I would say is the main glitch you see in Mass Effect 1 speedrunning here. If you kind of quick save while crouched next to certain walls and collision, it can push you out of bounds when you reload your save. And we use that to get out of bounds here on Eden Prime, and kind of then we have to, use some clever movement to get up the hill and then run along the hill here.
Yeah. So I am bypassing recruiting Ashley, and that is the entire reason that I'm playing as a male shepherd. Some of you may be familiar with the shenanigans in a cutscene coming up. Any fans of FemShep, if I have to go to my practice/backup saves, you will get to see her. I didn't check. Did I get a pistol there? I did not know.
No.
I didn't practice, and that was really nice. So I'm going to aggro these guys because of a little shenanigan involved, and after this I'm going to wait for them to load in. And there we go. Then just walk, and now they're gone. Shoot up there to initiate combat, because most of the stuff here hasn't loaded, which is a problem because we need to be out of combat to activate the tram in a second. But fortunately, we can just go up here, quick save, load, and now everything else is in, which is a little bit risky. Blow up. All right, I'm gonna have to take this a little bit cautiously because I wasn't able to shoot the thing as fast as I wanted to.
Yeah, so to progress here, there's a button you have to press at the end of the tram, and for whatever reason, before you reload this save that you make here, even if you kill like the one guy who's on the tram before you reload and get them all to spawn, it doesn't make this button that Alec just pressed, trigger. So you do need to actually fight everyone.
Destroy the entire colony.
Yeah, and if you don't trigger the husks earlier, then you just can't do that quick save. So that all kind of works together like that. Unfortunately, I guess the holy grail of this game, other than perhaps Long War or something, or state manipulation of certain areas in the game, would be just the ability to skip a lot of these early cutscenes. Unfortunately, even modding doesn't quite right. It just makes the game act incredibly buggy in a very bad way. Stuff just doesn't work.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Yeah.
Letters messed around with that a couple of years back, and
yes, so this is actually something you'll see, I guess, later today in Mass Effect 2. In Mass Effect 2, we, there was a decision made kind of to make the game more fun and have to watch less cutscenes, where there's kind of, you can basically just either make certain cutscenes that are skippable or unskippable, normally skippable, and just delete some video files and stuff.
yeah, you can effectively do it in this game. It just doesn't handle it well, unfortunately.
Yeah, where it does actually cut, you know, it does, everything still works in Mass Effect 2 if you do that, and it does, you know, make it significantly shorter to
Caden,
skip
what
these.
are you even doing? Alright, anyway, another minor little optimization. Kill that guy quickly, and then I can investigate the beacon, and the husks will just kind of stand there in the background, don't have to fight them. So now we have a bunch of cutscenes, and
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual
one of the things that I do
technology.
want to talk about for this game, and kind of for the routing, is that with the new developments, which really started in earnest this past January, I'm going to be a low level throughout a lot of this, and there's a lot of kind of back and forth between having characters leveled up or not. I'm even going to be changing the difficulty a couple times throughout the course of the run, and a lot of that is just to get your grenades to work the way we want them to. So
No, don't touch it. Too dangerous.
I'm probably going to have a moment where I'm like, wait, oh, I forgot to change the difficulty. There's a very good chance I'll forget to equip a grenade mod once I get one, and so on. Grenade mod, by the way, is one of the main problems with this run as well, because you buy it at a specific point, and it's not entirely reliable that you'll get the grenade mod you need. You can make do with an Inferno. If I get one quickly, that's what I'll do. But what I really want is high explosive, and it's random what the shot gives you. So
Yeah.
there are a whole bunch of
So-
shenanigans like that. Like, I also have character auto leveling completely off. I'm going to be turning it on at a specific point and then doing a manipulation to try to save grenades. And that's just so that Caden doesn't have barrier until after I'm okay with him having barrier. It's literally that simple.
That cutscene we got there at the end of Eden Prime, the cutscene before this, that actually plays out a completely different way if you're a female. So the role we saw Caden play in the cutscene of, you know, grabbing an invisible person, which would be Ashley, is played by Ashley instead. So Ashley's the one to walk up to the beacon. So it doesn't actually look that weird, that cutscene.
Yeah.
If you're female and you skip Ashley, but it does look very strange if you're male and skip Ashley.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
How did I?
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe.
I like your character's characterization here.
I like to make really weird looking characters for my runs. I feel it just enhances the experience. Like, and especially for a category that is just as completely and utterly scuffed as this one is. It's fitting.
Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Hey, Commander.
Okay, Ashley. Wait, who's Ashley and how did I know her name?
So yeah, not only does that opening, that first out of bounds skip acquiring Ashley, although she reappears here on the ship anyways. We get to skip a couple other cutscenes, like Nihilus dying.
Yeah, it saves. I'm trying to remember exactly. It saves something like 2 minutes, roughly.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension.
Yeah, this particular mustache really works well on a fair number of sillier-looking shepherds.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
I'm pretty sure they changed the sequence of these shots and lines around because it does not make sense if you pay attention. Roger, Alliance Tower, he is talking to Citadel Control, and now Alliance Tower talks. Well, the Citadel does have, like, a projection of clouds in the fake sky here.
You'll see. Well, do I, like, disconnect from Discord for a second and then reconnect?
I do not know. That is absolutely something that can happen.
Because I got the sound like I joined a channel. Or, like, switched a channel.
At any rate, one of the things that is relatively unchanged besides the start is this, at least in terms of the speed run. I'm going to go up here to the Citadel Tower, and before I actually go where I want to go, I'm going to go up here and talk to Garrus, because if you don't talk to him, then you spawn back here later. And talking to him here saves a few seconds later. So I do it now. But again, I'm not doing things the way it was intended to go. That should be far enough in.
Yeah, like, for example, one thing that's not intended is the fact that that's the only time you'll see Garrus the entire run.
Huh. I guess one last thing I can mention there is that I'm kind of pulsing my sprint. That's to let the gradual deceleration just kind of carry you forward a little bit more. You get a little bit more out of the sprint, and it adds up over the course of the run.
Yeah, so this out of bounds is kind of accomplished in essentially the same way we did the out of bounds on Eden Prime. One thing that's interesting to note that may be surprising to some people is a lot of all these planets in Mass Effect 1, even in situations where there's loading screens bringing you between different parts of the planet, are all the same map. So we can get from the Citadel Tower down to Cora's Den with an out of bounds and just falling a really far way.
Yeah, in New Game Plus, you could even kill Fist from out of bounds, which is pretty hilarious.
It is also a strat you will see in Legendary Edition, because that is the only way to do this skip in Legendary Edition. So you can get so you can still get out of bounds and on top of this room in Legendary Edition, but you cannot get back in bounds unless you kill Fist.
Yeah, it's something I tried to do quite a bit back when the Legendary Edition came out, but none of us were able to do it.
It's a cool strat.
As you can see, I barely made it through there. That part is dangerous because you have 2 waves of enemies spawning simultaneously thanks to the skip.
Yep. So they're supposed to be enemies you fight on the way in and on the way out. But you have to fight all of them at once if you glitch into a Fist's room there. These assassins, I believe, also you're supposed to fight on the way in as well.
Yeah,
right?
The first time into Cora's Den.
Yeah.
And the Singularity is supposed to hit at least one of them. It hit neither, so that's unfortunate, but it happens. It's really precise to aim. Right now I'm playing on casual. We'll be switching between difficulty levels a little bit to save grenades.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So it is possible to kill all 3 of those assassins with a single use of throw. But for reasons I don't think any of us fully understand, the one that's hiding behind the box there oftentimes survives.
Yeah, I aim in kind of a weird place that usually does better than that, but I pretty reliably have marksman recharged by the time I get to that, so I'm able to finish the main guy off a bit quicker. The two that reliably get hit,
You won't regret
they're
this.
weaker, and I believe they probably just have a
Henderson
lower
and I will
physics
go ahead and
threshold
get
as
things
well.
ready with the council.
Yeah, definitely. You are squishy. You keep the initial armor 90% of the time in runs, and run past enemies instead of killing them. Back up to the Citadel Tower here, and it's going to try to play both cutscenes at once. So because that crashes the game, I'm going to quick save and load once it starts to try to play the first one here.
The Geth attack.
That will fix that issue. It'll also put me a little bit past here. Now I'm going to go back to Anderson. Then, if I get this right, messed it up.
Unfortunate. You're just gonna restart the game?
Yep, I'm restarting the game because that's faster. I'm only going to do this once.
Okay. So this is, I would say, the most precise trick in the game as far as timing. So what AlecK is trying to do there is he's trying to pretty much, it's not exactly simultaneously, but close enough to simultaneously press E, which is the interact key to talk to Anderson, and bring in M or whatever he has map bound to.
It's still M. I didn't bother changing that.
I know some people have done that to make this skip easier. You may have to restart your Discord stream so I can see.
Yes, I will. I'll do that during the. Oh, I messed it up again. I'm just gonna let the thing play off, and I'm gonna restart my Discord stream for.
Okay. Yeah. So this skip, I would say, oftentimes where people's run.
You wanted proof?
So yeah.
Run and inconsistent.
Yeah, this part just wouldn't play. You'd be in a screen, and then you'd pop out, and you'd save and load.
Yes.
And
So
it's annoying.
You'll get to see, something that essentially shows you how this works later on when we do other skips that are, save less time, but work in similar ways.
I'm actually not going to do that one because last time I tried, I self-locked. So I'm just not going to risk it.
Oh, which one? Are we talking about the same one?
I think so. The one where you come back to the Citadel and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was talking about. The other thing it works in a similar way is the galaxy map thing.
Yeah.
Do that?
I am not doing that one. I'm doing the Mako skin.
Oh right. Yeah, that's in. Yeah. Okay.
No, so there is a galaxy map glitch, and that also involves more or less simultaneous actions to put you in kind of a weird state where you can move around in a different way in the Normandy, and that allows you to do a zip to get to a later part in Novaria quicker without having to do the Mako shenanigans that I'm going to do.
Yeah, but basically what happens if you do this properly is you kind of get into the cutscene on the map screen, and initially the cutscene is like paused. It's like not trying to advance the dialogue or anything, but you're still in the cutscene state where it's trying to play the cutscene. But if you switch to another menu while still being in the menu, it starts it restarts playing the cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, whenever you're like a pre-rendered cutscene, so that you have to skip through some dialogue, that still works properly while in a menu screen, but the loading in the pre-rendered cutscenes for whatever reason doesn't. So you can just skip past the dialogue part and then kind of exit out of the menu, and you'll just be past the entire pre-rendered cutscene.
Yeah, and you're in a very glitched state after that, but you can just save and load and you're good.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that I missed that twice because I'm normally really consistent at doing that, being able to, like, my experience with playing drums really helped with that, just being able to do simultaneous hits. But
Yeah.
it is precise enough that sometimes that just happens, and I'm not going to waste too much time trying to get it to work.
So one of the big uses for going out of bounds in various parts of the game is to skip elevator rides, and that is mostly what we just did there. Skipping a couple elevator rides, some cutscenes as well, but mostly elevator rides is what we're skipping there to get back to the Normandy faster.
Yeah, and I thought about a bunch of different ways that I might want to do this, and I decided I am going to basically stick to my old route. Novaria, Ferrous, then Therum, and finally Vermeer. Vermeer last because it has the most chances to get a good weapon. I'm not going to have enough money to buy the Stiletto 4 that we normally get in no Mikko Glitch runs on Ferrous. And so I'm going to have to hope for a good drop later.
Yeah, so that's another reason. Alex points out another reason why there is a good amount of interest in splitting the categories. It's not just the inconsistency of the Mako glitch when you implement it many times over in the run, but the Mako glitch also lets you skip a lot more stuff than you would normally do. And we have, prior to the Mako glitch, we had implemented a pretty consistent way of getting a good weapon into the run by buying one from a specific vendor. But if you use the Mako glitch too many times, you skip too many places where you potentially get money from
money
killing
and
enemies.
Experience, and both matter actually.
Yeah, and it just makes it basically impossible or very unrealistic to have enough money to get the gun by the point in time where you'd normally buy it. So
yeah, you'd have to go pretty significantly out of your way. So I'm just going to not bother.
So that forces you essentially in the Mako glitch run to also depend on weapon drop RNG to get a good weapon, because that can save a massive amount of time in the late game. So this is another skip or trick, I guess, that is going to get used in any other places, but this is probably the most obvious place where you're going to be able to tell that's what's going on. If you're swapping weapons repeatedly, like really quickly, so you basically have to do it with a mouse wheel and oftentimes with a free scroll mouse wheel. I know you don't have one, AlecK, right?
No, I have a G502.
Oh, you do have a G502. Okay, so yeah. People who do not have free scroll mouse wheels oftentimes find that very inconsistent. But basically how it works is you just keep swapping weapons and it'll stop you from entering certain cutscenes. And you just... Oh, you got incendiary. Right. I guess that's good.
I am going to do a hard save here. Load my quick save and see if I can get my explosive quickly. If not, I will continue. I'm going to give it like 3 attempts because they're pretty quick.
Nope.
But yeah, high explosive is definitely the preferred one. It makes it easier to not only defeat your party members, but not accidentally kill Shepard by the damage over time effect. No, cryo. Okay, I'm going to load that hard save that I just made and continue on.
Yes, so we haven't seen it yet since we haven't gotten to Mako glitch, but having a grenade mod that causes your grenade to do a lot more damage is pretty essential to triggering the Mako glitch in any reasonable amount of time with a limited supply of grenades.
Yeah, the grenade count is actually quite important, and unfortunately, with the incendiary, I'm pretty much guaranteed to have to do a backup strat on Ilos to make sure I have enough grenades for both skips. And that is, of course, assuming that I am still on this 5 by the time I get there. Garage pass? That's my garage pass.
So, what did I say? Very shortly here, we'll be seeing. You might just want to try to blow it up with the Mako, yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty bad luck. Usually your teammates are pretty good at killing them when you run past to the
teammates or the explosions.
Yeah.
Usually they get at least one of the leapers. I was a little bit quick probably triggering all explosives. I meant to only shoot the first 2 and then wait a little bit until the destroyer was near to hit the second one. And that also drew some fire away from them, which did not help.
Yeah. The Geth Stalkers are really the annoying part because they just kind of jump around on the ceilings and walls and stuff.
But if you don't kill the destroyers quickly, the destroyers can kill you. So.
Yep.
So I do have to do a bit of driving before I get to the part where I do the Mikko Glitch. And I'm going to try to kill some stuff along the way because I do want XP. And this is one of only a few places where you can really get much of it. That should be pretty good. Get one more kill there real quick. But I do actually have potential minor XP crunch. Not anything worth going too far out of my way to avoid, but if I am sufficiently low on XP at the end of the game, I would be 1 point shy of getting everything I want through leveling up.
Should have the Mikko Glitch coming up here soon.
Yep. So coming up in this next tunnel, at the very end of it, there is a little bit that is, it has actual terrain, and that is where I'm going to do the glitch. This is the easiest and most consistent of the Mikko skips, so I'm fully prepared for it to go wrong 5 or 6 times for no apparent reason. Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, they'll be treated to a show of weird stuff happening with the Mako, or you have to reload.
So I'm going to kill this turret there, so that I'm not in combat. I'm going to get up to that section, kind of towards the middle of it, get near the wall, go in here. Don't forget to put my incendiary explosive mod on. I'm going to go into my gameplay settings and turn the difficulty up to hardcore or insanity, doesn't actually matter which. And then I'm going to overwrite that hard save I just made right here, because I only need 1 and I don't want to do too much manual. Now I'm going to hopefully kill Kaden and 2 grenades. Yep, I might die here though. Okay. I'm still in. I'm out. That should work.
Yeah, so, I think it should work.
I shouldn't be too far back. Nope, I bounced off. So what I'm going to do here, before I reload my hard save, is I'm going to see if... Nope, that does not help. Oh, sometimes there are things you can do that will... salvage a skip basically just by...
Yeah, so I guess now we can explain how this works a bit. So you're basically trying to get in the Mako when one of your teammates is in the standing up animation from being dead. For whatever reason, if you enter the Mako like that, the Mako's physics just kind of go ham.
Might be stuck here.
Yeah, I think you're stuck in the wall.
Yep.
And it is very hard to control. I think the main thing you can do to control where you go is to position the Mako in a specific spot ahead of time, and also something to do with where you enter it from as well matters.
No. I am in between. I'm stuck in.
Oh my god. Yeah.
See, this one is.
I don't think.
No, I'm not going to be able to get out of that. So sometimes you can get out of situations like this. Sometimes you can't.
Rather unfortunate you're having bad luck on this one, because this is one of the easier ones.
I'm going to try looking down a little bit this time, see if that works better for this Mako positioning. Because there's kind of a range in here. Well, I made it out really quick. Unfortunately, I also went way down. Oops, I didn't mean to quick save there.
Oof. This is some rough luck you got here. So we're really not trying to get very far with the Mako here, which is why this is one of the easier ones. We're really just trying to get up above onto the hill here.
And grenades are also really inconsistent in this game. I want to keep a certain grenade count, so I'm just going to reload. If this doesn't work, I'm going to give it... I'm just going to reload my save that I have as a safety save.
Yeah, you have a backup save on top here?
Yep.
Makes sense.
Oh, I might be able to manipulate myself. I'm out over the abyss right now, and I'm trying to get myself not. I almost had it there.
Yeah,
I almost had it.
Unfortunate.
All right, so show load screen. I believe. This is okay. This is actually a little bit farther on. All this is skipping is a little bit of out of bounds driving, which is actually quite easy. You get to this point. You enter the facility down there, right? So this is no longer a legitimate run regardless. I am not surprised that happened. I just want to showcase this stuff. Pretend that I loaded on top of the area and then just drove around out of bounds a little bit, just kind of up above the area where you normally drive. It's nothing too terribly interesting. You get to this point here, and if you notice, area map, I just want to show that off because it's funny. I'm going to go over here. Come on, line up. This should work. Get out there a little bit. All right. Now it's Normandy Command Deck. If I fall, hopefully, I'm in a position that works, which this is. This is, I went a little bit far to be safe, and I'm right where I want to be. So this is the tram to the place where I need to go here. Here we go.
You can also see a good look at the AMD black box.
Yep. This is something that there is an allowed mod to fix. I intentionally do not use it because it's yeah. So this save is very similar in many ways. Caden also has auto leveled up at this point, and I have high explosive grenades on this save file as opposed to the Inferno.
Honestly, will make your life a little bit easier.
A little bit, yeah.
That's okay. You've had some bad luck so far.
Yeah, paranoia quick save right there because I have gotten randomly teleported to the anti-piracy box at that point for no reason once during a marathon run.
Really? Did not even know that was a thing that existed.
Yeah. In fact, assuming it loads in on there, which it doesn't always, usually does, you will see it from outside of it because I will be out of bounds running past it.
Stand down. Sorry.
So Captain Ventralis here is going to want our help with these bugs.
Hell, man the perimeter.
And I'm not. I am indeed going to go, go, go. I am not going to hold the line. So the quickest way through this area is to just enter this forbidden area, basically, restricted area, and I'm going to kill some things on my way through to get some XP and some drops.
So if you had seen a run many years ago, we did not used to use an out of bounds to skip this place, but for a while now, both the XP and the credits from this area have been important in runs, so we are going through this area again.
For this one, it's just the XP and the drops, because I do want to ideally get a better pistol from some random drops and some upgrades to put in it. That's completely luck, so we'll see what I get. Okay, so I'm still rocking my initial gun, which is not ideal. Armor-piercing rounds are good. High-caliber barrel is good. Did I get anything for this? I got, I'll go with armor plate. Other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to level up. I want to get advanced warp. I want to get lift, advanced throw, and the last point I'm going to put in pistols. Little safety save beforehand. Try to aim so that I can quickly order my squad over to a certain place. So this is wave management here. I'm going to throw that. Oh, I also hit the. That's unfortunate. I did not want to hit. I might get sent out of bounds here. That's why I made that safety save.
Yeah, that's bad.
I will not be able to salvage that. That's why I made that safety save before the fight. So what I wanted to do was only throw the Asari Commando, not hit the explosive behind her, because I wanted to kill that second Asari Commando with the explosive. Part of that, I think, is because the target ended up being on the Commando herself, as opposed to, like, right there. So there, I got the second one, missed the first one entirely. This should be fine. I'm falling on line. All right. Make sure to kill the commando first, and I can kill the sniper. Oh, that's not the power I meant to use. That's all right. Squad mates, please.
Never had both my squad mates die there. I don't think ever.
Yeah, they're usually better than that. At least, or wait, I don't have good luck for them, do I? I'm going to check that. Yes. Squad only. That would explain it. I thought I had it on here.
I assume you usually turned it on after the Mikko Glitch there.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
There's an autosave right here that I'm going to load to refresh all my cooldowns. Way to touch, then throw, then warp. Oh, I'm in stasis. Okay.
That doesn't happen very often.
That's unusual. Oh, and then I got thrown after that. That is awful. This is not a good fight. That will kind of stagger her a little bit. The punch usually doesn't go through on the Sorry Canvas for some reason, but it did a little damage. So that worked. I made it through.
They always said there would be
Now, another consequence of being low level is that I don't want to spend any points on my persuasion skills. So I'm going to go with the faster cutscene here and save the Arachnite Queen. So anyone who watches the no Mikko Glitch run, we kill the Queen there because we are locked into Renegade points for Ferrous, and we need a certain number of either Renegade or Paragon to unlock a certain Persuade level. That's not the case here, so faster cutscene it is.
this one.
That's just the neutral option, so I don't have to be particular about my dialogue choices at all, which is also convenient. I like being able to be lazy like that. Yeah, this cutscene is, I think it's something like 11 seconds faster. Or no, it's more like 16. A lot of little details like that that have partially faded from my memory over time. As you can see here, I have 5 grenades after all the shenanigans. That is good. I'm going to need them. Not for Ferrous, but for later. Well, I might get some drops in the meantime. That's far from guaranteed.
Well, made it past very at least.
Yes, I want to return to the Normandy. I'll do that dialogue twice. Fine game.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I don't really understand why.
It's just like, it's like the double discovery glitch, where before the game is able to deactivate the thing, you activate it again.
Yeah.
Incredibly minor time save without Liara. I'm going to just do quick save and load here. That is going to skip a tiny bit of dialogue. It's about the same in real time, so kind of pointless, but I get to show it off, so not totally pointless. It's more important later because it skips the cutscene. There, it's just a little bit of dialogue. I'm doing this next. You don't really need a ton of levels to be able to do Noveria effectively. You need more to be able to do the Thorian fight and Ferrous effectively. So that's just the reality we have to live with. And while I could get even more levels, I'd also probably get the pistol. I would honestly rather take my chances with drop luck than do the post Ferrous cutscene skip that you have to do if you have Liara in the party. Oh man, is that one a pain. You have to actually do a double skip, and the first part of the skip is truly actively difficult. The timing is precise, and you have to start weapon swapping really early, hold the weapon swap for a while. It's a pain. I hate it, so I'm not doing it. Get a little bit of codex experience here. Also, sometimes game thinks you're pointing at those instead of the galaxy map.
Equalizing
Yeah,
interior pressure with
it's
exterior
very strange
atmosphere.
how it like
Logged. The commanding
like how your
officer
camera has
is
to be
ashore.
angled to select the galaxy
Exo
map
Presley has the
sometimes.
deck.
We shot. Please, up the stairs past the freighter. Take cover!
Now we're on Ferrous, which has almost certainly the largest skip in the entire run on it, in terms of time saved.
It got a little more dangerous than it should have because I don't know what happened with my singularity there. I think it glitched out.
Overloaded, unfortunate.
I want to kill one of these. I want to kill these. There. Okay, thank you, squad. They give quite a bit of XP. I want to make sure I have it. So I'll take like just a couple extra seconds. Now, those of you familiar with the speedrun in general, you know exactly what we're going to do here. The Thorian is right below the colony, and we don't need any of that plot stuff. We can just go right to it. I'm going to look at that. I got anti-personnel rounds.
That's pretty
I'm going
good.
to switch to that for this boss fight because that will make it go hopefully a little bit smoother.
Having only Striker 1 at this point is not great, though.
No, it's a Kessler. It's the only pistol I have. It's by far the crappiest in the game. Everything else at least has more than 100 damage a shot. But at least I'm adding a nice percentage boost to that now. As for levels, I already have Advanced Warp. I'm going to grab Advanced Marksman. I'm going to put a point into Vanguard, and then I'm going to grab Adrenaline Burst. I'm not always able to grab Adrenaline Burst already, so the fact that I am this time is nice. It means I'm very good on XP, so I don't have to go out of my way at all. In fact, I pretty much assume in this route that I'm using that I'm going to have to level up to get Adrenaline Burst when I actually want to use it. It's the first time I've had that much experience. So unfortunately, Mercurius, I had to load a safety save, so I'm now FemChip. This is not a legitimate run, but I wanted it to be a showcase first, and
That warp reduces the damage resistance of Thorian nodes, so you have to kill less of the creatures before being able to really significantly damage them. Uh-oh, it looks like the stream may have gone down on Twitch's end. Hold on.
he paused.
I don't know if it's a restreamer problem or a Twitch problem. Let's see.
Chaos is still on. Oh, we're back?
Apparently.
Okay.
Yep.
If we're back,
Okay.
then Basically, I just took out that thorium node. You probably just missed me walking up to it. I used Adrenaline Burst there, Adrenaline Rush, whichever, doesn't matter. One's Elder Scrolls, one's this game. This is
Okay,
Burst.
it seems like Chaos needs to fix the cropping on the stream, though. Okay, he got it. He got it. Alright, we're good.
Good. We're doing it live, everyone. These things happen. So in this one, I do actually want to kill quite a few of these creepers because otherwise the damage is quite low. And the fortunate thing is that also gives me time for my Warp and Marksman to recharge.
Yeah, so this node, for whatever reason, has the highest damage resistance of any of the nodes?
I believe it's because
creepers associated with it?
I believe that Asari clone might also be erroneously attributed to it, but I'm not entirely sure. This one always dies super quickly. I killed those guys around there mostly to keep my party from getting wrecked, actually. Creeper, and there's the clone. I did not get the lift on the clone. Okay.
Well, it's still reasonably quick.
I'm not sure why the clone was so friendly there. I might have actually gotten lift, but had a graphical lift. That would not surprise me, given the way that the clone's acting.
Alright, you pretty much always, yeah, you have Adrenaline Burst up here, so you can,
Yep.
even if you didn't have Throw Up again, you would fine.
I'm actually gonna warp near the Asari clone then. Oh! She got throw off, damn. Alright, there we go. That was a slightly below average fight, but not awful. Not a trade wreck like I've had a few times.
Try to relax, Commander. Slow, deep breaths. Let go of your physical shell.
So there's really no way to skip this. You can get yourself soft locked in the area where this happens by using the scroll wheel, swap weapons, and interrupt that, but you can't get out of this area, unfortunately.
Every living being united in a single glorious existence. Open yourself to the universe, Commander. Embrace eternity.
Well, we try to skip as many of these cutscenes as we can. That is such a silly coincidence, and I love it.
I saw something. It still didn't make any sense.
That's close enough.
This is the dialogue where you are normally first meeting Ethan Jong. Halfway through, they're like, oh, hey, you need to go to Exegeti headquarters and such, and find Elizabeth Batum and all that. But now he's just here, and you have that dialogue here. So it's rather anachronistic, if you think about it, given that I've already defeated the Thorian. So if you pay attention here, I will go back into Normandy. And essentially, as soon as you hit that button, you have to start weapon swapping if you want to skip this cutscene. So instead, I'm just going to do the dialogue.
You want me to patch you through to the council?
And then the game doesn't give you much time in this area to actually get your quick save and load off. So it's very easy to miss it.
Good timing, Commander.
Now they're going to tell me about Vermeer, planet I go to last.
What kind of it?
Now it's off to Therum, where there is, if you recall, a big, long Mako section. Oops, clicked off.
No clip percent one.
I've
Honestly,
thought about
wouldn't
that.
save that much time.
So,
Like, not as much time as you think, maybe.
yeah, you'd lose a little bit of time in Citadel. You'd lose a little bit of time in a couple other places.
Twitch.
But what I
Again?
actually think would be, okay. I'll wait here for a bit.
I just see Twitch please in the chat. I don't know if that's.
Are we good?
I'm gonna pull up the stream and see.
Yeah.
It looks like it's fine to me. It's probably just something on their
Okay. In that case, I guess you might want to refresh.
A small hiccup. Okay.
All right. Bork, bork, bork.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange.
So this is actually one of my favorite grenade saving strategies because it's incredibly silly. I have a backup save both for this and after this, but this whole Mako section, as you may be able to guess, I'm not going to be doing it as intended. I'm going to go up here, point myself kind of up in that direction, get out, I'm going to do a quick save, and hey, squad, go into the lava. So now they're low health. I don't even have to change the difficulty. I can just... Bye, Caden. Okay, that is not going to... Unfortunately, it wouldn't let me target the Mako. So what I'm going to do here is I can actually just reload this quick save.
Yeah.
But again, all right, walk into the lava to drop your health. Caden. Caden. There. Caden didn't want to actually trigger the lava. That happens. Okay. This should be a good position. There we go. And I got them both, so that'll help. Should be about right.
That
right, good.
was better than the last attempt.
Much better. Now, I need to get a bunch of height, which I think I am doing. Yeah, getting good height here. I'm a little bit stuck. Not totally stuck, though. All right. I'm losing height now. This is one of those things, it's really inconsistent. I'm probably going to end up doing this the backup way. That should work, actually, for the backup way. So I'm going to load that quick save, activate the jets, and oh, I didn't have the angle I thought. That's unfortunate. I was trying to bounce myself past there. Now, since we're so far behind schedule, I'm going to load this backup save that I made just on the other side of this invisible wall that I'm trying to get past. So you can see I was right down there. Now I'm past it. That's what should have happened, and I should have been able to either get over the wall entirely or kind of deload it by doing a save load and then use the Mako jets to get to the other side before I land. But again, super inconsistent strats. We call them cursed strats with very good reason. And of course, now I'm just driving out of bounds.
Yeah, I think, just for reference, I think the fastest time with no Mako glitch right now is still faster than the fastest time with Mikko Glitch, because no one has finished like an entire run that's halfway decent with all of these skips in it.
It is a lot to get a completed this. It is a lot.
Yeah, it's a rough time.
But all of these skips, if you get them quickly, save a bunch of time. So this is the point where, right about there, you might have been able to see the kind of the cheater jail or the pirate jail, but it didn't load this time. Not sure what causes it to load or not. Okay. Over the crest of this little hill here, I'm going to do a little safety save, because this edge collision is not super consistent. Sometimes you just kind of clip and fall instead of tilting forward like I did there. And the forward tilt is really important because that's where I got most of half or a little bit more than half my momentum to clear that gap. I'm gonna.
So we got a question here from the chat about Mikko Glitch. So yes, it is a recent addition to the meta, relatively speaking. The first completed runs with it were done probably late 2020, but that uses all the Mikko glitches that we have seen so far in the run were not, found at that point.
Yeah.
All the uses of it were not found. It's still a work in progress, yes. There's still potentially better ways to use it, but really the reason why they said it's surprising it took so long. The reason why it took so long is we didn't have a consistent way to trigger it up until Lufex, who just, piped in chat, found one probably about a year and a half ago.
Lufex also found most of the setups and such. This is a nice little spot you can get to, and allows you to save and load, which you can't do in most areas down here. So it's nice to be able to do that. There's a quicker way in here. You can drop right down by Liara. You can even get to the elevator, but can't activate it because of story triggers, basically. So instead, I'm going to do the safe way because the other way, you have to get a really precise positioning, and there's also a very high chance that you just crash the game doing that. And
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
It's not safe, and this isn't much slower. So this is the way I'm doing it. It still skips like the entire Mako section by doing it out of bounds, which is just really.
One thing that's interesting about this puzzle AlecK is doing here is a lot of people who have not played the game on PC would be wondering why is taking AlecK so long, because there's a single solution to this puzzle. That is not true on PC. That's only true on the console versions of this game. I think they actually carried that over for Legendary Edition as well.
second one is so bad. It's even worse than trying to get grenades.
The first one on iOS is not too bad, but the second one's cursed.
So incredibly awful. Like, I cannot emphasize that
how
enough.
late in the run it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Boy. This is not good.
I think you're okay?
Yeah, med gel, good. Barrier. Okay. This will be fine. Actually gonna grab those in case I got something good, because my loot hasn't been good so far. Now, since Liara's in the party, I'm going to be really wanting to get the cutscene skip after this planet. Fortunately, it's not like the one on Ferrous, where it's just really obnoxious to get. I basically just wait until the load happens, I give pulse wheel a spin, and start spamming quick save, and then I can just hit escape and load. And the single escape press reliably buffers in. It's nice. Spin.
Yeah, so I guess I never really mentioned it in detail, but way back when we were on the beginning of Nevera, we were doing the weapon swapping thing to get past some cutscene triggers. That's essentially the same thing we do every time we come back on the ship, or every time other than Ferrous, I should say.
It's
While we're
possible.
on the black screen, we kind of use our weapon swapping bind on our mouse, and that delays the cutscene long enough to quick save.
Yeah, it's possible even without a free scrolling wheel, but it's much more consistent with because you always get an input when you need it. As far as things that are like a work in progress, we still do not have a skip for the Vermeer Mako section. It'd be really great if we did, but it would also be really incredibly difficult because there are death triggers all over the place on Vermeer that only activate for Shepard. So you'd also need extra grenades because you wouldn't be able to have your squad drop out of bounds. Like, you can have them drop out of bounds up there, and you can't have Shepard do that or Shepard dies. But if they drop down, they just reappear right by you. Safe and sound. Don't even take any damage. Although I could see one being possible later in this area. I don't know. Even if it is, like, you might have to have your squad mates go hunt a Colossus or something to save grenades for the whole to work out right.
Yeah. Lufex says it would be slower, just from the way it's designed.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. It's very hard to imagine a way to cut a big corner like you can on Theron, for example, or Novaria. By getting out of bounds with the Mako.
Yeah, I'll even show the map real quick so you can see. You start here, and then you go all the way through here. Like, maybe you could skip this section or something, but that would be about it. You'd have to be really quick with the setup and all that.
Very long hallway, essentially.
And that's assuming you don't even have any stupidity like the various death triggers that are so easy to trigger on your head. I got a grenade drop. Missed my last shot. Oh well. I like to kill that Colossus when I can. But I'm really good on XP, so I don't actually need to. Alright, make sure nice and far away there, actually.
There's gotta be a way to shut that thing down.
A little bit of manipulation to make sure we don't kill the enemies too quickly, and also don't get killed by them.
Ready to move out, Commander.
There we go. Able to get right into the Mako there and skip a little bit of out-of-combat running. I'm guessing that last one crashed, am I right, Lufex? Because that's what happens when you try to take the Mako into certain modules. The game just can't handle it. As a fatal exception, it crashes. It doesn't even tell you anything weird happened. It just goes, oop, it's gone. There, that's the Mako section. Went pretty well. The tricky part is getting the right position on each of those bridges because they're slightly different. The second one is a little bit easier to actually tell because you want to go pretty much right up against the wall. But otherwise, it's just driving. Now, my endgame party is going to be Kali and Dara, so I don't care which party member I save. And whenever that's the case for me, I just go lazy on this dialogue up here.
So what are we supposed to do now?
So not in this one, but in the next one, you get to pick which party member you send with your A here. And the default option gives you Kaden.
You all know the mission and what is at stake. I have come to trust each of you with my life, but I have also heard murmurs of discontent. I share your concerns.
I'm not going to bring Liara with me yet. That is a tension.
Check, dear Commander. If you see any way to undermine
That's interesting. I don't know how you'd
Shadow is on the ground. Repeat, Shadow is on the
make
ground.
that conversation unnecessary.
Fire is coordinated on Monovite team. We can't reach the gas turrets. They're out of range. Damn it. We have to move. Anyone left in Monovite merge up with Jaeto. Lieutenant AlecK with me.
Yeah, I'm ready.
AlecK, can you see anything?
Yeah, this is a big running section. Not much going on here. Just run past a lot of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting pounded. Bunker up before the aircraft return.
Yeah, that makes sense. And who would ever go all the way back there anyway? Not someone playing the game normally.
Yeah.
Holding ground. Jaeto around me. Shadow team must be getting close.
There.
I'm not sure why that didn't open the first time.
I'm not sure either. I've never had that door mess up like that as far as I can remember. This is the one that usually gives me fits.
Dude. Of anything that they fixed in the Legendary Edition, this is the thing I'm most glad they fixed.
Yeah, that console.
Hello? Is someone out there? Krogan reinforcements! Janto, hold your ground! We're being flanked!
Sometimes there's a little skip down here that sometimes doesn't quite work right. You initiate combat, you kill them, and you kill that husk quickly. And sometimes this door control doesn't let you open it right away. You have to kill these obelisks first. They don't activate right away. It's a little annoying. It is mostly consistent except when it isn't. But here's another little thing where we can skip a good bit of plot. By just quick saving and heading through here, you can see that the bridge is solid even when it's invisible. And it's just these couple little walls we have to clip through. Normally, I would love to use a grenade here to sprint through this section a little bit faster, but I'm not going to because I want all the grenades I possibly can have, and I don't want to count on getting another drop in the rest of Vermeer. So, there are a couple chests after this, but I'm going to hope for Striker 4 is... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can fix this really quickly. Actually, this saves me a menu later. Skip remaining talons. Now I can open it. Striker 4. That's exactly the kind of thing I wanted.
Alright, that is much better than what you had before. Piercing, I guess, is...
Yep. Armor piercing.
No tungsten,
and...
but it's fine.
Yeah. It's almost as good as tungsten. And heatsink is really nice. That means I can get a little bit lazy.
Heatsink is definitely good.
A little bit lazy about my overheating. Not worry about it too much. Lets me optimize the rest of my combat a little bit better. I like that. It's actually, well, it's not technically the best option. It is my favorite option that you can get there. Huh. I only got the one Death Trooper. It's weird. But yeah, I was going to deactivate squad level up before getting Liara forced into the party effectively anyway, because I want to level her up manually later. Specifically later.
The charges are set and ready. Everybody get low and keep your heads down.
All targets down.
Now I just get to wait a little bit for the Normandy to come in.
That's one less thing to worry about. Commander, I'm bringing us in. I'll get as close to the site as I can.
I don't see any birds. Oh, there's one. So at this point, in the past, we would level up Shepard to get Persuasion, because there's a Persuade check in this next Saren fight. But I don't have that many points in this route, so instead I'm just going to max pistols or put the rest into lift.
You get to do a fun extra fight with Saren at the end, then.
Yep, it's not that bad actually.
Yeah. Only bad thing is getting overheated potentially by Saren.
Yeah. That only happens if you're slow. And if you recognize that you're going to be slow, you can make him do it to a weapon that isn't the pistol.
Yeah.
And that trait right there is basically your last chance to get a good weapon on this planet.
It appears the Geth have sent reinforcements.
You were already sent, though, thankfully.
It's already here, and it's bleeding. Yes, Commander.
You always pick the last option there because you want to head to this back here. There's a quick way to it up here, which also breaks the AI of the Geth guarding the bomb site. So that's nice and convenient. Man, that heat sink is nice. I'm just looking down, it's like, how close am I to overheating? Ah, it's at like 20%.
Of course.
It's quick and easy fight.
Pretty good.
And then one more cutscene skip coming up a little bit because otherwise Liara would look at all the information you've got and say, oh, we have to go to Ilos. Means watching that weird cutscene with the cipher and all that again.
Alright, everybody, hang on!
But this is another skip that isn't too difficult, fortunately. And sometimes you get like the first line of dialogue to start playing a little bit there. If you use,
I forwarded the mission update.
if you don't use the an end squad involving Kaden, then saving Ashley is like 2 seconds faster. Tops.
Yeah.
It's incredibly inconsequential. There's a minor skip here that you can do. Last time I did it, I soft locked, so I'm not going for it. It only saves like 7 to 10 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. Definitely more than 5 and less than 10. Somewhere in that range.
So it's basically just weapon swapping. Then I believe you bring up your map specifically and then exit out of the map, and then you're good. But I somehow managed to soft lock it last time. Also, lockdowns can't stop me. I happen to know that there is a duplicate Normandy down underneath this Normandy, and it is not locked down. I'm going to run down to about here.
Just walk through the void.
Mm-hmm. Just falling straight down. I should be in a pretty good position here.
That should work, yeah.
I think we're
I
done
can
here.
Put back in.
Not ideal, but
No, that's not. Okay.
That's not good.
No, I can fix this on the load in though. Okay, this should work. Yeah. So that's just a unfortunate thing. It's where I dropped in.
Probably.
You
could probably just land in the med bay. It should be fine.
Why won't it let me move, crouch, or uncrouch? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You should be able to just crouch
There.
again here.
Now I'm good. Then the controls went all funky. Anyway, we're in there now. Unfortunately, there's no perfect way to tell exactly where you're going to drop down for that skip. You just kind of use a couple different cues to try to get your position right, and that hope you're not off in some minor way that makes it weird like that. So now we're off to Ilos. There are 2 Mako skips at Ilos.
First one shouldn't be too bad.
Shouldn't be. Sometimes it is, but it's definitely the more consistent of the 2. I'm going to be going right up against estimates, so I can't waste too much time on these. But I do have saves in case things go wrong.
Well, the first one shouldn't be too bad, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to redo.
Commander?
Get my endgame squad in here. And it's important to note that Liara has not been leveled up here.
You two, keep moving inside now.
Yeah, technically you can do it, but oh man, it's a collision after getting through the door. A pain to get through without soft locking.
We have
Conversation. I gotta kill these 3 Geth here. I'm going to move the Mako up here to be about like that. I'm going to go ahead and make a hard save here. I should have done it after doing this, but whatever. I'll just override it.
Yeah.
First one often takes 3. That's fine.
You got it?
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
The first one looked like I might load in stuck. This one, though, is good.
Yeah, so.
And one of the things about the higher difficulty is that you'll notice that the health is low and not really regenning very quickly. That is one of the things that changes when you're out of combat, and that is good because coming up here.
Yeah, first try.
First try on that one.
So yeah, that was actually the first application of Mikko Glitch that was found. Although it was the most obvious place to try it as well, which is why it was the first one found.
This is done.
Okay, I'm out. That's good.
That's a good start.
I'm dropping back in, I think.
And you're stuck in the wall.
And it's a permanent stuck.
Yep.
I'll give this 1 or 2 more tries. And then I'll load it back up where I got it. That doesn't count.
Well,
the grenades in this area are just...
that time you killed her with 1 grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
This is a thing that can happen too, and yeah, that's kind of stuck as well. All right, last straw before I load my backup. You know, I figured I'd at least get one of these without to work backup. But...
Well, you got the first one on Eyeless.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's 1. Not promising.
That might.
Sometimes you can get out of bounds here. No, that's stuck. Okay, so I'm going to go down here to this one that says Normandy Command Deck. So you have to go out and then up and then back over. And if you do that properly, you end up here like this. I'm currently on top of the area I just was in. Now I'm going to drive a bit out of bounds. So, yeah. There's also
the most complicated driving out of bounds section too. It's one of the tough things about it.
There's a lot of silliness here. Like this bit isn't too bad. You just kind of go up. There are a couple places you can land where it's like, okay, I know how to salvage this as well. Like, you just use the Mako jets and you land on either side of a couple areas where the center isn't solid. Here it is. In fact, I want to go to the center to line up this next little bit properly. So coming up here, I'm going to drop down a little bit, and then I'm going to do a little bit of out-of-bounds maneuver. A little bit of a weird landing, but I'm in there. So
far.
Don't worry about this. I am on solid ground until I'm not. There we go. Nice, except for the flip, but that actually didn't end up too bad. There's a bunch of weird collision here, so I'm actually going to kind of grind the wall a little bit to get through.
Yeah, this whole sequence you're seeing him do here, from getting... Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Getting out of bounds in the first place and then driving. This was kind of this specific skip was kind of the catalyst for the category split.
Yeah, mostly the first part. Honestly, this out of bounds driving is not awful.
Yeah, I think it's just the combination of everything together. I mean, obviously getting out of bounds in the first place is definitely really bad. The fact that you can still mess this up after you do all that also is not good.
Then there are weird little things like that. Oh, did I?
Might have not.
I think I might be stuck down there.
Yeah, I think so.
So I've done that section basically like that, except I went down into that little area a little bit later, and so I thought it was safe. Apparently it's not.
Yeah.
Stop. No, you don't.
Yeah, so that is some weird collision there.
That probably wasn't as dangerous as it looked, but still. I do not have all of this terrain mapped out in my memory. Right. So, we're into the penultimate area of the out of bounds. The way to get into the last area of it is by kind of going around here. All right, so I'm going to load a backup save that is just a little bit up past here. In fact, you could see it when I went into the save menu. I was right down there. Now I'm about to go and get back in bounds. Or bounce off of that.
Yeah. This is definitely something that I think if anyone really tries to grind out this category is going to have to spend some time memorizing where all the collision is here.
How did that not get in there? I'm getting all the weird collision that I never really get. Yeah, I know. I have a method of it, but that time I bounced off before it. I'm trying to get a really nice ink. It should stop being quite so. There.
You got it.
That one required a little bit more of an adjustment once I was in the area that I wanted to get to. Yeah, Lufex, don't worry. I know where it is. I was just messing it up.
Alright, we got to the final mission. Final planet, final section. Whatever.
Please begin emergency evacuation.
Yeah, there's a nice little line in there, like I was kind of mentioning, that I was trying to hit, where you basically just go right through, and it's really smooth, but I wasn't getting it. And because we never, we didn't go through the cutscene on very first planet, you can still get the dragon's teeth interaction for the husks, which is not really a thing you can do there. And of course, just falling down, suddenly I am in space and have my spacesuit on.
Yeah, so this final trip to the Citadel, the map is very strange, where things are relative to each other. And the other games to the Citadel does make some sense.
That skips most of the way to the end of it.
When I did this section in Legendary Edition, I had zero, like the outdoor section, the whole thing, I had zero recollection of what was going on in it.
Like, oh yeah, you have to plug the battery for that one fight. What?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and level up Shepard to the next lift. Nothing else really matters. One Vanguard. Oh, Liara is already leveled up here. Give her advanced barrier. But yeah, that's what I want to do there. So now this fight coming up can be skipped with the Persuade option. Obviously, I didn't put any points into Persuade, and I barely had enough points to get everything I wanted. So I'm going to be fighting Saren here. Now this fight can go one of two ways. I can get it without accidentally swapping away from my weapon here.
You should have joined Sovereign when you had the chance.
This is going to be tight, but I think I can get enough damage before he overloads me. Oh, I was trying to switch away from the weapon. Now I'm going to hit him with Warp, and that will actually finish him, basically.
So Warp does some damage through shields.
Yeah. So, if that had gone ideally, I would have been able to switch back to my pistol. It wouldn't have been overloaded, and I could have just finished him off really quickly before he even got a chance to move too far after I warped him. But for whatever reason, I think it has to do something to do with the teleport. The further cutscene here. But anyway, the teleport that he did there after I got a certain amount of damage quickly, I think that kind of resets your warp damage a little bit, but it makes it a little bit slower to finish him off. In my experience, in my testing, it's faster to just try to get as much damage on him, get him to pop over, then. So just one more fight left. 2 phases. I would have been overestimated anyway, even though I didn't pause my timer during the hiccups.
Make sure he's dead.
But that's how it goes. This category is very much a thing, and I knew this was a possibility going in.
He's dead.
So if all goes well, then he's basically going to spend the entire fight in the air. So it's going to start me facing the wrong way. I'm going to switch away from my pistol, have Fiara lift him. I'm going to switch back. Glitch me. Come on. I switch back to my pistol, and it should let me... There we go. Now it won't let me shoot. Okay. Now
really not work?
It's weird. I'm not sure what causes stuff. But it happens sometimes. It's really annoying. My setup there was to try to avoid them. Fortunate thing here.
Negative. This is our only chance. Take that monster down no matter what.
is that we have a little bit of cooldown time. Okay, that's the move I want him to do.
And
Liara got him lifted while he was doing it. Don't punch! Shoot! There, that's time. Oh, wow. So, as expected, that was endless shenanigans, basically.
yeah, it's you got to at least see how weird the Mako stuff makes the run.
I wanted to at least show that off because it's new, it's interesting, it's not very marathon safe, but
yeah,
it's new and fun.
Not a marathon safe category anymore.
Again, we call it cursed for a reason. Yeah, that's it. Since we're a bit behind schedule, I'm not going to say too much other than that, but shoutouts to Lufex and anti-shoutouts to Lufex for finding so much of this stuff. It is both amazing and awful. And I'll be hanging around for most of the rest of the event in chat. But yeah, I'll let Chaos take it away from us and move us along to the rest of the event anytime desired. We are going to be having a restreamer swap as well. So
it's not this run. It's next run. It's after the next run.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
Thank you for the run, AlecK. Thank you for the commentary letters. We're going to take another short break here as we transition over to Lemura, who's going to be running Dragon Age Inquisition. So give us just a few minutes and we'll get right to it.